When looking at the Counter-Strike market, you will find many tradable and marketable items. Valve have clearly made it a mission for every single item in the game to have a dollar value attached to it. Some of these dollar values even venture into the thousands of dollars. Unfortunately, not all of these items garner the same attention from the community despite the price tag. The true blessing of the Counter-Strike market is the variance between items. Whether that's a specific float value, a specific pattern, or the stickers applied. There's articles from mainstream outlets about the opportunity of this market. An entire culture built around not only the purchasing and selling of these items, but also the collecting of them. It is what has allowed Counter-Strike to become such a digital market phenomenon, but with so much variance and prices generally skewed towards items with the higher rarity. We also run into items that demand a high price, yet they have no buyers. You'll see it when a trade looks too good to be true, or when a price is significantly lower than its perceived market value. Profit looks one click away. Who would be stupid enough to lose this much on a trade? Who is so desperate to sell that they would undercut the market this hard? When learning the intricacies of this market, we have likely all had these thoughts. And to those who fell into the trap, I'm sure you never made the same mistake again. As someone who has watched this story time and time again, let me introduce you to the trap items, the unsellable items of Counter-Strike. A distinction has to be made for items that are hard to sell, items that can be sold easily for the right price, and items that really only exist to be sold at buy order prices. Buying an M4A4 Zerka with a Katowice 2014 holo typically isn't considered a great idea, as the skin is not sought after, and due to the release dates of these items and early usage of the M4A4 back when it was meta, many of these crafted skins exist. And the most valuable Katowice 2014 skins are those with little to no duplicates. If you know the blue laminate memes, the Zerka is basically that. But unlike the AK, which is the dominant T-side rifle, the M4A4 has fallen out of favor due to various updates over the years. These sticker percentages for listings that haven't sold yet are very low. It's not a steal to buy these, it is the agreed market value. But this skin isn't impossible to sell. The market pages of these items allow people to make comparisons and determine if a price is reasonable. It may take a long time to sell at true market value, but just undercutting the markets by a few bucks or allowing bargains depending on the site, you can sell quick if necessary. The same can be said about low or high float items. The markets will not lead you astray. Sure, a factory new Wasteland Rebel is hard to sell as its rarity has forced prices up, and the float makes virtually no difference in game. So why would you pay so much for something that looks identical to the item that is a fraction of the price? That being said, if there is an agreed market price for these items, you can sell for that market price with time. The only way you get stuck with an item is by overpaying more than you should due to a lack of experience. The real issue comes when not only do people seek a price that the item would typically never sell for when contacting you privately, but the markets lie too. When dealing with low supply items with little demand, it's common for markets to only have 1 or 2 active listings. And that means the person with that item can basically set the price on their own. This is where the trouble begins. Easily, our worst offender comes in the way of gold autograph stickers. When you see people losing money on trades, it is often through one of these. Sticker capsules that contain golds have 4 rarities. That means the odds of getting a gold autograph is 1 out of 156 capsules opened. And if we look inside the autograph capsules, there are 8 teams and 5 players. That means another 1 in 40 chance of getting a specific sticker. That is a lot of capsules opened just to get one specific item. Which isn't a problem with modern capsules as tens of millions get opened. But years ago, the market was much smaller than it is today. Looking at London 2018, we can see the supply difference between many other gold autographs, not only in market listings, but with stickers applied as well. There are a few reasons why this major specifically failed. Capsule investments would cycle with a large investment into one major, resulting in underwhelming short-term gains. For the next major, people are less hyped about the sticker profits, and we see a smaller investment. Boston was heavily invested, so that checks out. And of course, outside of all the market trends, God these holos suck in CSGO. You may look at these stickers today and think, damn, they look pretty good, especially the foils. But that comes from a lighting and quality difference in CS2. In CSGO, these stickers were muddy and underwhelming, so the investment was minimal compared to other collections released around the same time frame, especially Berlin 2019 if you remember that disaster. Overall, compared to its peers, London 2018 supply is low. So low that depending on the market that you look at, they basically don't exist. As always, there's thousands and thousands sitting in storage units, and of course all of the other items that exist in inactive accounts. But supply that is actively listed and traded remains insanely low. That allows the owners of these items to have some fun with the prices. If you list a solo sticker for $2,000, then that becomes the new market baseline. But people would just check previous sales, and it's obvious that the price is not accurate. So why not list an item, buy it on a second account, and now there's proof of that item getting sold at that price. Now you actually have a chance of listing the item again and selling it for real. When the difference between the buy order and listing price is hundreds of dollars, that sale and sometimes purchase fee is nothing compared to the potential upside. And then if you want to get really scummy, you create a fake buy order that you then get rid of when the item is out of your inventory. These are the types of games that are played with items that have insanely low rarity, but no demand. Most people actively using the CS markets have extensions for various reasons. One aspect that is generally packaged in with these extensions is price checking for trades. It's an easy way to quickly sift through trades and determine whether or not something is profitable. Float overpay and sticker value generally isn't included. But as a community, we have given so much publicity to crafting and float collecting that anyone who is actively trading should be familiar, at least in a rudimentary way, of how these aspects can change item values. When looking at something like a sticker, these attributes do not exist. A sticker is a sticker, that is it. If the extension says it's $1,000, it's $1,000. But that's the problem. The sticker isn't actually $1,000. Unless you feel like waiting years and years, all you're getting for that sticker is a few hundred. That easy profit coming your way, you will soon realize is a nightmare that you have to live with, or you will take a loss selling to a collector that understands no one will pay market value. The price you will be offered will be fair, and it will be a significant loss. This type of game works best with stickers as they don't have any aspects that can change their value. It's also very hard to keep up with every autograph sticker in the game. There are thousands of them now. So when a trade comes in that is so clearly profitable, it's stupid to not accept before the owner realizes his mistake. At the end of the day, it was you who made the mistake. But you won't realize that until you try selling to users that will laugh at your price. But just because stickers are the easiest items to do this with, doesn't mean they are the only items. For everyone who made it this far, do you own a knife? And if you do, is your knife stat track? Odds are, almost no one watching this owns a stat track knife. Not only are they more expensive due to their insane rarity, but the scratches on the blade itself make the finish look worse. We all want a super clean knife. So what kind of person would destroy their skin for a stat track? Well, there are a few people that love tracking kills, and that's fine. You are loved and accepted, even if you're a little bit broken. Battle-scarred collectors exist, it's a niche in the scene. Minimal wear collectors are non-existent. If you look at an iconic skin like the Doppler, you will find that the only available floats are 0 to 0.08, just barely touching the tip of minimal wear. So while many fan-favorite skins are float capped and factory new, skins like Dopplers are capped the other way. By far, the rarest version of this skin would be a StatTrak Minimal Wear Black Pearl. Is Black Pearl a fan favorite? No. Is StatTrak well received on these knives? No. Do people want to pay extra for the rare scratched version of this knife? No. You may receive a trade that is a slight profit on your end with one of these skins attached. Perfect, right? It's a Doppler. These things sell in minutes. Just flip it and laugh your way to some free money. Unfortunately, you're going to be fighting your way to a reasonable sale, or you're just going to have to take the loss. Minimalware Dopplers might be the obvious nightmare, but even a factory new skin can be a nightmare, like we saw with the Forest DD finishes. Yes, it is float capped at factory new, which creates some real demand for fan favorite skins, but not for a Forest DD. And anyone who is crazy enough to spend well above the price of minimalware to get that clean, sexy Forest DD isn't going to want StatTrack, which completely eliminates the purpose of paying extra for factory new. Skins like these are easier to spot compared to a sticker with manipulated values, as you would do more research into what makes a skin so valuable compared to the other versions that you have seen. But something like that could still catch you off guard. There's a plethora of these skins, with some more of a nightmare than others. Looking at sale quantities on marketplaces for matching items is a great place to start. Even if an item truly sells at the price your trade offer extension is telling you, if sales are months or potentially years apart, do you still take the item? There's something to appreciate in having something rare, even if others don't appreciate it like other infamous items. But these items can be used for scams. When pricing out a high-level craft, you consider the price you could get for the right buyer, and then the price you could get for a quick sale. For something like a StatTrack Minimalware Doppler, there's the price you can get for a quick sale, and the price you can get for the right buyer. The only problem is that the right buyer in this case isn't a collector looking for a specific float, or a craft, or a pattern, but instead an unknowing buyer that will soon regret their decision. As London 2018 golds have vanished from the markets over the last few years, I've seen people make regrettable trades or expose those who are trying to dump these items. But this has been happening for a long time with knives, and is about to become even more egregious as the market has grown in value. If you want something unique, go for it. If you think a quick buck can be made, take a nice long look at why the seller is willing to lose money. Chances are they won't lose. You will.